Hi besties, I want to talk about dating in New York City versus San Francisco. I moved to New York City, I want to say about 6 months ago, October of last year. I lived in San Francisco for 2 years. One of those years was single, and I have experience in both markets, so I thought why not spill some tea on both. For context, before I moved here, I knew I would eventually be coming here, so when I was dating in San Francisco, it was kind of more like with that knowledge, so it really wasn't fully like the typical dating experience. Went on dates, went on little meet cutes and some meet not so cutes, okay? And we're gonna be getting into that in this video. You know, this isn't the Kevin Leonardo channel, so I'm not gonna be giving you all the dirty little details, but you're gonna get some tea, you're gonna get some spice, but it'll still be safe for wherever you are. Some things are left for the memoir, because we don't need to know everything about each other, y'all, but at this point the timeline is so dark that I'm like, whatever, I feel like spilling this tea will bring me joy and other people, so whatever. And I have a PSA for everyone too. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Chris, I'm 27, I now live in Manhattan. First key difference I want to point out between the two cities is the caliber of man in both cities. Like, I honestly think there's beautiful men in both places. Like, there's some really gorgeous men in San Francisco, and there's some insanely talented, gorgeous men in New York too. But the thing with New York that I've noticed is that there's just way more people, obviously, and there's different industries here, so it's not just like tech galore like San Francisco. So it brings out a different type of guy. Like, there's the finance bro, there's like the musical show type of guy, there's still the tech bro, there's blue collar man, and all sorts of cuisine to try. The main point I want to stress is that it's less homogenous in New York City, and people come from all over into Manhattan. So yeah, the type of men here, very different than in San Francisco. The type of energy is different. That leads to that key difference in the type of men, how many men, you know, there's way more options here. The other key thing is that things end really quick. They start and they end really quick, because people in New York, they don't want to waste time. So everyone's very much on to the next thing because there's so many options. It just feels like, even for myself coming here and dating seriously, like not actually anything serious yet, but I'm like now finally like that I'm settled in a place where that's something I'm open to. Everyone's like on to the next, on to the next. And even myself, to that degree, I feel like I fall into that too. Like, we only have so much time in the day, and as someone that's running a million things, trying to do a bunch of stuff, it's like, if it doesn't work, it's really over in a New York minute. We don't have time for games. We don't have time to be dragged down in the mud. But on the same coin, I think if something heats up, it could go fast. Versus in San Francisco, I feel like people are more willing to like be consistent. Even for like friends with benefits, it's like people are still like, nope, like on to the next. It's still like we're flipping the buns. San Francisco felt like way more laid back, way more chill when it came to this type of thing. I want to talk about dating apps, what that's like as a gay man. So we all know about Grindr. There's some ones that are like not even on the App Store. I don't want to talk too much about them because I want to keep it for me in the gworlz, but like, you know, there's a lot of apps, dating apps, that you can use now beyond just like Tinder, Grindr, Hinge. Like, obviously those are like mainstream, but there's even dating as a gay person. I feel like you're always drawn to the apps. I am on there, and like, you're always drawn to the apps, and like, you'll have phases where you're in it, where you're not. So it's also a good way to meet people. Like, I've also made friends off of Grindr, like, or Hinge. If it's like a date that didn't really pan out, I made friends that way in SF, and like have done so here as well. Yeah, I would say that the apps here are very different. Like, you know, San Francisco, it has more of a community vibe, right? Like, not as many people are coming in and out of San Francisco for work anymore. It's a lot of remote work, or people just go to Palo Alto and then come back to San Francisco. So it's like very different dating market vibes. Like, you kind of know who's on your grid, who's near you, and like, you know, then there's like the regulars, and then there's like whatever. It feels more like okay, I know who these guys are, or I probably know someone who might know who they are, type of thing. But in New York City, it's like a billion people, and people come in and out of the city, you know, from Brooklyn, from New Jersey, from wherever. Like, leads a lot to a lot of traffic, and like, you know, there's people you'll never know because of the sheer volume of people that come in here. So when I got here, I was like, okay, like we'll see who we can meet up with. Like, we're here, like, and this gets me to catfishing. I've been catfished multiple times. I feel like a lot of people that date online probably have, to varying degrees of catfishing, especially gay men. Like, I have stories with my friends where we're all like, what the fuck? Or we'll be like, girl, can you believe this happened this week? Like, had that happen in both cities. I think it can happen anywhere. So, but I will say it's happened more frequently over here. People lying about small things like their age, or people lying about their height. Okay, like, fine, whatever. But this was one of the first times where it was like I was catfished by a completely different person. like we met up and that was a different face. Like, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? And then there was obviously no hair on the head, like, and this is no shade to the bald. It's like, that's probably gonna be me in 5 minutes, so I'm not judging. In fact, bald men are gonna be kings, look at Prince William, right? Obviously, if you project something and you don't show up as that, like, it's done, right? So I literally was just like, bye. I was like, no, it's not happening. I'm not in the mood for this right now. I literally said, I cannot do this today. Those were my exact words. I cannot do this today. Bye. Yeah, but we have to stand up for ourselves, you guys. Like, be careful. We need to be safe. And also not let people dupe us, right? So just have this serve as a warning to the girls, because like dating men is a health hazard, straight up fucking health hazard. Just look at Netflix, okay? Look at Netflix, see what these men are doing when they go on dates, when they're married, when something snaps. In this city, I will say the risk is higher. The risk is higher. We all need a security detail. So that's my catfish tea. I don't want to give too much away because some things are for the memoir or for the deep cuts, but you know, this is just a general overview. So we've been catfished before in multiple places. It's been like more abrasive here. So we need to verify. We need 2-factor authentication, babes. We need to be sending these codes. We need to be clocking everything, right? Like, send me a 3D scan before we meet up, right? Okay, and then the next thing is men are unpredictable and scary. So this is a story about how I got attacked on Grindr, literally attacked. I moved to New York City. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna hook up with this guy who keeps messaging me. He seems like he'll probably be fine. And so I did, and I went over once. Vibes were like okay, like I think it was fine. And he kept messaging me a lot after, and I was like, okay, you need to chill. So I blocked him. And then, you know, a few weeks later, I was like, okay, like maybe I'll unblock him. So I did. Lo and behold, he messages me again. And then I'm like, okay, fine, like I'll come over because like, okay, fine, I'll come over because, bruh, I was stressed. When I first moved here, I was not in a good place. Honestly, I was not in a good place. Like, a lot of ups and downs, right? Everyone else seems to be, like, on a mission right now. I'm not connecting with anyone else. So fine, I'll go meet up with this guy again because I already hooked up with him. It'll be the same and, like, we'll move on. So I get over there and the vibe just is weird for me. Like, for some reason, I'm not feeling it that day. Like, basically, we're not getting where we need to go, right? So he's like, hurry the fuck up. Like, just fucking do what you need to do. And I was like, really not going to power the engine. It's not gonna, like, no. This is like sending warning signal vibes. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go. It was nice knowing you. And so I just go and I, like, grab my stuff to go. You guys, we don't have to stay. We don't have to do anything ever. You don't have to do anything anyone tells you to do ever. Like, it doesn't matter if they're your boss. It doesn't matter if it's some guy you met up with. It doesn't matter if it's your friend or whoever. Like, if someone's telling you to do something, you don't want to do it. You don't want to be there anymore. You're over it. Like, girl, we can pack our shit up and leave. We can go. So this was one of those situations where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to leave because at this point it's futile. So I went to go get my stuff and he flips out, grabs my phone and like throws it across the entire apartment and starts stomping on it and like cussing me out. I was shook. Like it went from like 0 to 100 like so fast. And these things happen so fast. You need to know how to react. So I didn't escalate. I didn't cuss back. I didn't like, I let him do what he needed to do to my phone to get out whatever the anger was. I could see it in his eyes. Like there were like in his eyes, I saw like demonic energy. And so I was like gagged. I was like, okay, you can destroy that phone all you want, baby. Like I'm getting out of here. So I get my shit. Also, annoyingly, I was carrying my stuff to mail for prep. I literally had my like blood sample and a urine sample. I was like, I'll just like drop this off at the post office afterwards. What the fuck is wrong with me? So anyways, you know, like 2 birds, 1 stone. We're going on a walk. I collect my stuff and I end up actually grabbing my phone off the ground, and then he grabs my clothes and throws them out of the apartment. So I literally end up in the stairwell, snatch my bag of urine sample and blood, and then my fucking beaten up phone, which, okay, then he shuts the door. I had my goods, and girl, look at the phone. She is still cute. She's still cute. She still works. Like, there's a little bit of scratches, but like, honestly, those were from me. Like, I looked at it and it was the fucking same. And again, that was something watching out for me, for my device. I mean, I still use it as an excuse to go buy a new phone. I was like, hey, this one went through it, y'all. Like, we need to cleanse the vibe with a new phone. Like, with the new iPhone's camera is better. Moral of the story is, don't let these motherfuckers try. We got our OtterBox on. We just need to be aware of our surroundings. If you have a gut feeling, you need to follow that gut feeling. And so my gut feeling was like, no. And like, even in the first time, I was like, okay, there's something off. Just don't stoop to the level for the link. Like, it's never worth it, bestie. Like, literally, it's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. So that was a quick lesson for me, because I was in my first month moving here. First month, this person lived near me. So I was like, okay, maybe he's just messaging me a lot because we're so close. So he just wants to know if I'm available. But it's just like, don't make excuses for anyone. There's the dating here. Not that was a date by any means, but it's just on a dating app, supposedly is what Grindr's called. So anyways, that was that story. Literally getting attacked. I think it can happen to anyone. I've heard it happening to my friends, not just in New York City, but really anywhere. So protect yourselves, y'all. Like, dating men is a health hazard. If you feel like something's wrong and you feel like the vibe isn't there, it's never worth it. And yeah, I just want to say, like, I thought I would be safe no matter what all the time, because I'm 6 foot tall, I'm thick, like, I'm a top, I'm a dude, I'm bigger, right? But it doesn't matter. Like, if somebody the size of baby fucking Yoda could end you, could unalive you, and like, it doesn't, then what then? We need to protect ourselves always. Nothing is ever worth it. It doesn't matter if it's your phone, if it's your wallet, whatever. Items can be replaced, but your health cannot. Your safety, your sanity can never be replaced. Flip side of all of that, there are people that are willing to go on dates here. Like, people like to meet up and they're committed. So like, talking about the actual dating, like traditional. So I have done some of that, not too much, but I'm like, we're like getting there, right? We're getting open to that. It's great. I think there's a lot of potential here. I think any place you go, there's going to be people that you vibe with and people you don't. Here, there's just a lot of people, and I feel like there's a lot of people I vibe with even on a friend level if we like meet up on dates or whatever. So people here are down to like explore, help you feel welcome to the neighborhood. Like, if they've been in New York City longer, there's a lot of really good guys here. I have a lot of hope. So I guess that's why I'm ending on this, because I feel like there's a lot of hope here. I feel like there's a lot of people that are really passionate about something in New York City, which I really like. San Francisco, obviously there are a lot of creative, passionate, amazing people, but lo and behold, people really stoop, like equity packages, like which startup is gonna pop, whatever. And like, I do find that stuff interesting. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely tapped in, but I have a lot of other interests too. Honestly, like, I love San Francisco. Like, I'm never gonna knock on it. I think it's awesome. Like, I think there are things that obviously need to be improved. Like, for me, things closing early, and I was never cool enough to like go to after parties or whatever. I want to say I'm like less cool, but like, you know, in the Kim Kardashian game, it's like, what your A list is, your B list, or whatever. I feel like I'm like D list here because I'm just new, but I feel like I'm on an incline. Like I feel like I'm getting better, and I don't feel like I've peaked in any sense. Like I feel like my time in New York City, it feels like it's just getting started, and I've met so many awesome people in just the past month, and that's just like the start. And yeah, I think dating here is, while it can be scary, and like I was giving those salacious bits of tea because New York City, I feel like it's gonna shock people. The amount of things that can happen in a day is like can be shocking. And my life since I've moved here has just been like constantly flipping on its head every month or two, and like in very exciting ways, but sometimes scary ways. And highs are high and the lows are low. I feel like that sounds so cliche, but the same goes with dating. But I'm hopeful for something positive, and I feel like I'm in a place where I can support someone mentally a bit more. And I would like someone to break me out of my shell when it comes to my day-to-day. I need to do that myself, but I really do feel like having a guy is nice. I don't know. I'm not saying like I'm like in the relationship era, but I'm just saying like I can make it out on my own, and there's some awesome people here. Even just friend dating, to be honest. Like, I love going on little friend dates and making new friends and talking about whatever we're interested in, or like watching a show together, or going out, or just having a day at the park. There's so many things you can do here, not just for dates, but activity wise. So it just makes for like a more interesting happen. Feels like anything can happen. I was like watching Gossip Girl in the gym the other day, and like all the drama in that show, and like there's a lot of the whole like aesthetics thing, and like how you look, and like I don't really know my style fully yet. I literally am like a cartoon character right now. And so I want to get out of my cartoon character era, and like I just bought a bunch more clothes because I'm like, okay, like we can finally buy clothes, like, and maybe we need to cycle some stuff out. So anyways, that's a little bit of my rant on dating so far. I don't care if also this makes people mad. I don't really care. Like, I just wanted to tell people like the real risks. Like, there are risks that come with dating men. Especially we're just meeting people online, and just be fucking wary. All flowers and cupcakes. I figured the only way I'm really gonna do a YouTube channel is if I just bitch about things, because it's the easiest thing for me to do. Like, maybe I'll get more like tutorial-y, like give some knowledge on here, but I just want to have a good ass time. And even if that means like spilling mess, I just want to be myself with y'all, and like I'll show you different sides of me. Like, there's the entrepreneur side that I can't stop talking about and doing. Like, I love social media, content creation, blah blah blah, but also I want to go touch grass, and I want to talk about touching grass and ass and like everything. Like, I don't give a fuck. I just can't have like 30 different channels. I don't have the energy. So you're gonna get what you get, and we'll see what we end up doing on here. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I talk about those things I just said. And I'm gonna try to make more content on here. So you will get an unfiltered look at New York City, building your own business, working for yourself as a content creator, social media person, 27-year-old, gay, crazy ass life that mostly takes place in this room, but we'll see if that changes. Thanks for watching.